The macrocosm and the microcosm. 2. The word macrocosm, anu, is used in the sense of a unit living being, and the word macrocosm, bhuma, is used in the sense of the supreme entity. Both macrocosm should be used for the entity who is either the seed form or the post-seed form, not the pre-seed form. Macrocosm is the composite of cosmic Shita and cosmic operative principle. Some may say that it is superfluous to differentiate between these two entities, but I disagree. I have made a difference between cosmic Shita and cosmic operative principle because the former, after its creation, is metamorphosed into the 5 fundamental factors under the influence of the cosmic static principle, and not the cosmic operative principle. If the influence of the static principle on the cosmic Shita is extreme, yada spota, bursting of a structure, may occur. Due to the negative movement of the static principle, the extroversive flow of cosmic imagination can be suspended, and the 5 fundamental factors can be withdrawn into cosmic Shita. When the sentient imitative principles of Prakriti predominate, unit mind emerges. Following the emergence, the flow of creation returns to the fundamental witnessing entity along the path of Pratisanchara. Prakriti is the composite of 3 principles, sentient, mutative, and static. All 3 are active, both within and without the periphery of time. They are active in both attributional Brahma, Saguna Brahma, and non-attributional Brahma, Nirguna Brahma. But in Nirguna Brahma, the 3 principles maintain mutual harmony, keeping the supreme triangle of forces in a balanced state. As there is no resultant force, the cognitive principle remains unaffected within the triangle of forces. When the mutual interaction of the 3 fundamental principles causes a kind of awareness to rise, Purusha is called Saguna. Later, as Purusha comes under the greater influence of Prakriti in successive stages, he is called Mahatattva, I am feeling, Aham Tattva, I do feeling, Shita, done feeling, and the quinquental mental factors. For the sake of easier understanding, we say these stages are the modifications of Purusha. But does Purusha actually become modified? No, Purusha remains his usual self at all times. The apparent modifications which occur are caused by the various influences, tanmatras, which emanate from his vast body and flow externally as a result of Prakriti's static influence. The variations in these influences permit us to form a general idea about the existence of different objects. The resultant force of the triple principles causes a sprout to emerge in the vast body of Purusha. Hence attributional consciousness is called Sakala Brahma. Kala means sprout. Non-attributional consciousness is called Nishkala Brahma. The 3 infinite principles of Nirguna Brahma flow in innumerable directions. When parallelism in their movement is lost, they form a triangle of forces. The supreme balanced triangle moves endlessly. As long as the supreme triangle is balanced, non-attributional consciousness maintains its original identity. But is it possible for the non-attributional triangle to maintain its equilibrium forever? Does any principle ever maintain equilibrium in equipoise from beginning to end? No, it does not. When 3 principles flow in a triangle of forces, in a process of mutual interaction, one force eventually encroaches upon another. As a result, differences occur in the internal strength and wavelength of the 3 forces. Moreover, when 2 forces remain active within the same boundary, it is natural for them to interchange their inherent characteristics, Thus the sentient will be converted into the mutative, and the mutative into the static, and the static into the sentient. This process of mutual conversion is called homomorphic evolution, Svarupa Parinama. Some people use the term Svarupa Parinama in a different sense, but I am not in favor of that. The innumerable triangular forces are flowing. The triple principles within the triangles are forever exerting their influence. When a triangle maintains balance, the collective name of its three forces is called matrix, Mula Prakriti. I said earlier that the three forces are interchangeable. Each has its own vibration. It is this vibration which determines each principle, individual characteristics. While operating from the same point and the same side, one force is converted into another according to its fluctuation in their waves. When the three principles, due to their mutual conflict, exert a varying influence on an angular point of the triangle, a resultant force emerges. This force cannot continue to flow within the triangle, but bursts out through one of the vertices and moves outwardly. This bursting and extraversion movement of the resultant force is a sign of loss of balance. At this stage, Prakriti can no longer be called Mula Prakriti. The seed of creation is the loss of balance within the triangle of forces. The point through which the resultant force bursts out of the triangle is called the seed point, or Bija Bindu, seed of creation. This bursting point is the nominal cause of the phenomenal universe. This imbalance is philosophically termed Gunakshoba. The waves of the force which burst out of the triangle begin to modify Purusha. Although it appears as if Purusha is distorted by external force, he actually remains in his original stance, unperturbed. What appears to be a change in Purusha is merely a change in the wavelength of the three principles. The resultant waves behind these apparent changes is gradually simulated back into the fundamental cognitive faculty. Manifested Prakriti gradually emerges into the supreme tranquility of the cognitive faculty. By nature, Prakriti constantly recedes. When Purusha changes, the movement of the three principles become progressively slower. In the process of codification, 24 factors were taught to us. Cognitive faculty. Mahat Aham Shita, 5 fundamental factors, 5 tanmatras and 10 organs, are created in the body of Purusha. Although there is a marked difference in the wavelength of these tattvas, they are mutually related. There is a harmonious transformation from one to the other. If you call the process of mutual conversion of the three forces within the triangle Svarupa Parinama, then we can call the successive waves of Kala, which are apparently responsible for modifying the macrocosmic body, Sadrisha Parinama. Sadrisha means like. In Sadrisha Parinama, or heteromorphic evolution, the forces move towards successive stages of codification. The vertex of the triangle of forces, through which the resultant force bursts out, is the starting point of creation. In this vertex lies the vast potentialities of creation. It is the seed of creation, the point of innate desire, in which all manifestations lie embedded. As the desire for expression lies in the seed as potential energy, it is dominated by the static principle. When the static force bursts out in a straight line, we call it the second stage in the flow of creation, and the first stage of crude expression outside the triangle of forces. This stage has tremendous manifestative potentiality, and is hence dominated by the sentient principle. As this movement is a linear one, it is called nada. This stage has a tendency for more and more expansion. It wants to create sound in the deep silence. The linear movement of nada gradually becomes curved due to internal clash among the three principles. This curved nada is known as kala, vibrations with curvatures. Kala is the fundamental cause of this. Kala is the fundamental cause of this expressional universe. Having taken the form of Kala, Shakti becomes conspicuous. There is a tremendous expression of Shakti, and hence this stage is dominated by the mutative principle. When the flow of creation reaches the stage of Kala, Causal Brahma, Karana Brahma, becomes effect Brahma, Karya Brahma. Karya Brahma is characterized by curvatures or Kala. Saguna Brahma is the composite of Karana Brahma and Karya Brahma. When the seed point in the flow of creation is metamorphosed into Nada, but has not finally acquired the full qualities of Nada, it is called Visarga or Vimarsha. In this stage, the potentiality of sound is still in the primordial seed form and not in Bhava, Adi. When the subtle potentiality of the seed is transformed into cruder potentiality, it is called Nada. And when Nada becomes curbed under the influence of the mutative principle, it is called Kala. Between Nada and Kala, there is an intermediate stage, which is a state of transformation from Keshar Brahma to effect Brahma. This intermediate stage is called Anushvara. The one manifestive seed is devoid of Anushvara. The manifestive seed contains Anushvara. It is still of form and color. The seed point represents will force, Nada represents cognitive force, and Kala represents actional force. The flow of creation is guided by the cosmic will, and hence the first half of the cosmic cycle, Sanshara, is dominated by the static principle. Behind this actional expression there is the mutative Kala, hence all the mutative forces advance in the form of Kala. It is due to the degree of vibration in the wavelength of Kala that various objects are defined and their relative existence determined.